All right, welcome back. So today I've got some of my Slash T-Bone racing bumpers and some of my Slash chassis from doing speed runs. I have 9 of these that I've built over the years, different ways, different styles, doing speed runs, trying to get to 100 miles an hour. And we're talking the best of the best at the time when I was building these EMP mounts, Tekno drive shafts, just everything, 17mm adapters. I mean, it's crazy how much money I put into these Slashes. But the reason they're on the bench is because oh, that diff, as you see, is leaking. That's strange. It's funny, that diff is leaking too from all the crashes. But RPM arms, it's funny, I built them usually pretty similar every time I built them. And then I learned to, I'm not the type that would, anytime I crash or ruin an RC, I would pull out the electronics and I would just build a whole new one and then set the chassis aside. But with that said, is my plans are, I want to take one of the T-Bone racing bumpers, and I always adapted these wheelie bars to the T-Bone racing. This one's a little smaller one, so what I'll do is I'll trim these down a little bit and I'll actually adapt this wheelie bar onto one of these. That's the way I normally did it, is I would just buy any size, because they sell different sizes in these. I would just buy any size and adapt them, or at least steal the wheels off, because sometimes the wheels would break off, and you definitely have to glue these wheels or they will come off. But I'm going to grab a couple of these bumpers. I might even, one thing with T-Bone is they make everything like standard, and what they do is this back half is built for particular RC cars. So I want to put one on my Tekno. So what I'm going to do, and you can see how flexible they are, and I'd heat them up and bend them to where I want them. These I would bend them down, make them straighter, because I would like them to drag on the ground, because the Slashes like to go into a wheel stand and flip. So I don't even remember what these are, but you can see I always drill. It doesn't matter the bolt pattern to me. I would just drill my own holes anyway and put it on whatever RC. Those 4 bolts are a Slash. This could be a front bumper for a Slash. This is probably a Slash 2-wheel drive is what that is. And I adapted it to the back of a 4-wheel drive. But with all that said, and I think I have some more somewhere, but I'm going to pull this one off and we're going to get it adapted to my Tekno because I want to run it at the skate park, and I don't want to destroy the Tekno. So we're going to build up some bumpers for that thing and go that route. Since I'm not using these chassis, I really should get rid of some of these chassis. It's not like anything is wrong with them. It's just if I would roll it or something would happen, I would just grab another one. And then just keep going. I always had a speed build in rotation so that I never had to have an RC down when I was speed running. The electronics rarely ever got damaged, and my RC cars rarely, other than the body, would get damaged, but I would swap it out anyway and just start over. So I keep these rollers around. Maybe eventually I'll start doing some more slash 4x4 speed runs, or I might even just get rid of these things. I don't know. I mean, I have 9 of them. I still have, I think, 2 put together with electronics in it. But I don't know. Ton of good parts into these things. So it's funny, this one, I think this is one I bought as a speed roller, and they all have really good clutch systems in it and metal gears, Mod 1 gears on the slipper clutches. I should have taken one out and send it to RC Guy Garage. He could probably use some of this stuff. Maybe send him a mount to adapt a big motor into his Slash. Or maybe just send him one of these rollers. Maybe he'll put one together. But let me get these off the bench. You can see all the dust from these things sitting. I haven't really looked underneath this Tekno to see what I'm going to need to do to get a Tekno bump, or get one of these T-Bone racing bumpers in here. See, I think this is a good choice right here because 2 of these bolts line up. So what I'm going to do is pop this off. And T-Bone bumpers, like I said, they're all basically the same. They're just drilled out, and just one part of it's drilled out for the different models, which is pretty cool because it limits how much product they need to build. So I'm going to take off 2 of these screws. We're going to see if we can get this thing to line up. See, I think I'm going to go in. I think I'm going to chop off some of this too, because I just don't need all of this in here. It's about perfect because it goes right to the winglets of the droop screws. I will clean this up. I'm just mocking it up right now. Wow. One thing I gotta say about these Tekno screws is they sure are hard to get my tools into. Like, they're not loose at all. So that's going to be our base. And then I think I'm going to cut these straight. Alright, so I cut the corner straighter so I can fit it in between here. And now we're going to go ahead and drill it. So I drilled 2 holes. got that section. Right. So one basher bumper installed to try to save the back of this RC. And I could do a front one too. But I just don't know if I need to. See, these plastics are really rigid, and when you throw the T-bone stuff on it, it's so much more flexible. This is some precise measurements right here. Don't try this at home. Give this every shot I can to not destroying this RC. I really am. This is just going to cushion it a little bit if you're going to bash it. So hopefully I'm giving it every chance that I can to saving it from getting destroyed. So that's my T-Bone racing. See, the wheelie bar will go up about that much See how it springs? Onto the table. That's what a T-Bone racing bumper tends to do, is just spring it back without putting all the impact to the differentials. So hopefully that'll be enough. And then that should save the body. I might trim the upper of the body a little more, just so it's not on. Since I got the clearance, and I definitely need to shoe goo this thing. More clearance. Clearance. What's going on with that one body mount? Yeah, there we go. That should do good. That should save it pretty good, I think. I'm thinking about just maybe keeping this body and maybe just cutting out another one to bash with, but maybe I'll just bash with this one and paint another one. But I like how the purple came out, so I might just paint up another purple. But whenever I try to duplicate something, it never comes out exact, so that's why I'm thinking about just buying another body and then just painting it a solid color. But who knows, we'll see. I mean, I really should put a roof slider on this thing. I'll go down and see if my hobby store's got an Arma 8S roof sliders, or because I think 8S will be long enough, and I might just do that. That's how I mount up some bashing T-Bone racing bumpers. I don't have black for the back, or I put black. I only had red. I mean, I could take one of my other ones and make a black one, but I don't think it matters. It's a basher. And we'll see how it does. All right. So, went ahead and drywall taped, shoe gooed, and gorilla taped the sides, and then shoe gooed the corners of the tape so that it won't come undone. And then I tinted the windows with a light tint so that it doesn't show everything. And then I always tape the holes while shoe gooing. That way it doesn't get onto the paint on the outside, and then I'll just drill the holes again. So that's curing. It's pretty much dry. I've been using the heat gun to dry everything quicker. Just adding a little heat to really make sure everything sits down. I'm out of shoe goo, or I would have shoe gooed the top section here and the side, so I'll have to get some more, but hopefully that's enough to keep the body from ripping for now, and we'll call it a day. But I've done everything I can to try to get this thing to last, at least this body to last. You see, that really saves the shoe goo from dripping out through the holes while you're doing this. And then you can, if you do get any on there, you can usually just roll it off. Still kind of tacky, as you see. So it's getting on the outside. But once that dries, I'll be able to roll that off like a bubble gum, I guess you would say. So I'm going to pop these off to let those holes cure a little bit. But yeah, I've pretty much done everything that I can do to ensure a good fit on this. And then tinted the windows, because my plan was to possibly shoe goo this stuff as well, the windows. Whenever you shoe goo into drywall tape, you have to tint or black out the windows. And I use Tamiya's PS31. It's called Smoke. So it'll add just a little smoke to the windows. And then when you enclose the body, it really doesn't shine through and lets you get like light on it. So if you put like a chassis light in it, or underglow, or chassis glow, or strips of LED, you know, we can do it in purple and it'll shine a little bit through the windows. So I like doing that. But it's not a show truck, even though I'm taking a lot of precaution in trying to ensure I give this RC every chance that I possibly can. Because like I said, I do have a lot of money tied up into it. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. You know, I chose to put these parts in there, and I chose to make it an expensive RC. That's just something I chose to do. Like I said, I know there's several people in the comments that were like, well, I can build mine for $800. Not if you buy all new parts. If you buy takeoff parts, or you have electronics, or you have something, then it's definitely going to save you on a kit build. But you do a kit build, and you build it the way you want to do it. Do I need to run fans? I do, because of how much I bash and how hard I bash. And it's not just the fans, it's the heat sink and everything else that goes along with it. For me, I definitely need fans on mine. I need something to cool down the electronics, just because I overgear it. I got a 23 tooth in there, and it's a pretty small can size motor, and it's a race motor. And I'm running a pretty big ESC to drive that. It's a 6S system. I'm running on 4S right now, and possibly will be running on 6S depending on how it handles. Now I will put the 4S backflips on this from my I'm going to borrow them from my V1 Max, because I have ordered a set for this and they're still not in. But between the bumpers, the body, and all that stuff, I'm hoping I have enough. And like I said, hopefully I can get the sliders by tomorrow, so that I can save here, and then possibly do something in the corners back here to try to save the body. There's not much I can do to the front as far as any kind of protection on the outside of the body. I definitely like to put some sort of skids up front. Maybe I'll make something some corner sliders or something to save, because you know this corner is going to get damaged, this corner is going to get damaged, the roof's going to mess up here, along here, and definitely on these corners back here. And then like Traxxas does, Traxxas runs a guard all the way around here on the Maxes. I might be able to put that guard on here, which would be good. And even a Max guard or an X Max guard up here would be good. Or even some roof sliders, just something to keep the body from scraping. Will definitely protect it. As far as it cracking, I think the shoe goo and stuff will do enough to stop the body from cracking. There is no support in the center here to support a roof landing. So hopefully I don't do roof landings, because that's what really cracks a body. But it's a basher. They sell more bodies. And if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. But there we go. I'm still waiting for my T-Bone back bumper. I did order one for the Tekno. This is the way I do it. I'm not a red person. So I'd like to get a black one. Even if I keep it this way. So, we'll see how this does. But there we go, guys. Hopefully, this thing will hold up. This thing's really bugging me right there. Go. We got it off the outside. But there we go. I'm going to get this thing out and bash this weekend. Want to send it and see how it does. There we go. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys on my next video.